Here she is, Miss America. Oh, God. Oh. I'm in so much pain from my damaged sinuses. Empty nose syndrome and what I call empty sinus syndrome. When the maxillary sinuses have been cut open, the maxillary sinus, a surgeon cut open my maxillary sinuses without my knowledge or without my consent. Jeez, my back is so itchy. The surgery was done to me without my knowledge. Took me years to find out. I think it took me 8 years to find out because everybody was covering it up. So these sinuses in your cheeks, they have a little pathway going to your nose that's how they're supposed to drain. And without my consent or without my knowledge, a surgeon made a big hole on either side. So they're wide open. And here's what happens. It's just like, when you get Lasix surgery and you get dry eye from Lasix surgery, it's the same thing. You take a healthy organ or body part and you damage the ability for it to self-lubricate and self-clean. And the person ends up in excruciating pain and discomfort from, this otherwise healthy organ to lubricate itself and function normally, right? You damage the natural, normal function. The LASIK eye surgery, I actually had LASIK eye surgery 21 years ago. And that's the first time I was blatantly gaslighted by a doctor. Not the first time I've been gaslighted, but the first time a doctor was blatantly looking right at me and lying to me, and I couldn't figure out why they would be lying to me. They do the corrective eye surgery, and now you have no lubrication. You can't even open and close your eyes proper, and you're so dried out. And here's the thing: they expect to give you a man-made product to spray in your eye and pretend that that's natural tears, and it's not going to happen. And you're so dried out that your eyelids are just dragging up and down, trying to drag up and down these dry eyelids. You're so dried out that your eyelids are getting stuck on your dry eye. And what it does is impairs your vision. And like I was being told I was fine, and I was out there driving. I would accidentally drive onto the curb and stuff. I was hitting the curb with my car. My eyes were so dry. And I would be sitting here and I couldn't see my TV, like 10 feet away. You can't watch TV and you can't read because your eyes are so dried out. And they just look right at you and tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. And, lots of these patients have been sent to psych. And I don't know. I don't know if somebody is keeping a running list of how many people have taken their lives from LASIK surgery. Google, go on YouTube and look under LASIK eye surgery and suicide. So yeah, I was really struggling for a year, and then like you panic and you're fearful. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Nobody knows what you're experiencing. You're suffering really bad, but nobody knows. Like you're trapped in this world of your own. Nobody knows why you're, and lots of these people have been told they're crazy, and they're not. You've taken a perfectly healthy organ and you've damaged the how it naturally works. You've damaged the lubrication system. And people end up taking their lives. But, I encourage anybody with dry eye to hang in there, because mine got better after a year. My eyes, the lubrication system is working now. But what you're doing is you're spraying man-made drops nonstop, and just instantly your eyes are dried out. It's just nonstop. A man-made product cannot emulate the natural fluid, natural bodily fluids. For some people, I don't know. And then they don't know why some people get it and some people don't get the dry eye. Same thing with this I call it empty sinus syndrome. All these people have empty nose syndrome. I have severe empty nose syndrome. But what I have coined to be empty sinus syndrome is when these sinuses have been cut wide open and they're dried right out. Dried, my sinuses are as dry as the skin on my arm. And what you get is distress and pain and cracked and bleeding. And there's no natural mucus, there is not mucus happening. So every breath I take, every breath you take, if you have normal sinuses, you're breathing, through your nose and then up the back of your throat and down here. Every breath I take, these sinuses are filled with air, filled with rushing air and dried out. And the sinuses, the mucous membranes have been damaged and they're not lubricating. Just like the damage to the eye. And they get cracked and bleeding, and any mucus that does happen, it's so dried out there that mucus gets stuck in the side walls and you can't get it out. You can't blow it out and it goes bad and you get constant infections. And you know what? I've been wearing this for how long has this helped? Cotton in the nose, and then I tape it at night so it reduces the airflow, and that's helped immensely, but it's not working right now. I don't know what's going on. And then I could feel the blockage and pain and ear pain, so I did antibiotics yesterday. I finished a 10-day round of antibiotics. And past 4 days, I'm in excruciating pain. And I don't know why. I'm completely dried out. Like, I could take my finger or a long Q-tip like that, the extra long ones, I can go all the way in, no problem. Like I'm wide open, right? And your nose isn't supposed to be wide open because, you know, germs, dust, allergens. I've got trapped, some mucus trapped right now. I'm wide open. It won't come out. I just finished 10 days of antibiotics. Excruciating pain. These 2 surgeries have caused lots of people to take their lives, have caused people to suicide. The pain I've been in the past 4 days, if I knew I had to be like this, the pain I'm in right now, if I knew I had to do this for the rest of my life, I can't do this. Doctors don't know what to do. They tell you to use, saline rinses and stuff. It's the same thing with the dry eye. You're not going to emulate, you're not going to duplicate the natural lubrication. I spray this salt water in there, a saline rinse. It doesn't work. It lubricates it for 2 seconds until I take a breath and it's dried out. Over and over again, you can spray your eyes if you've got dry eye. You're spraying your eyes all day long. Same with this empty sinus syndrome. You're spraying nonstop. It doesn't help. You can't, damage a body part's ability to lubricate and pretend that everything's okay. If you, all of a sudden you could not have saliva in your mouth, let's say the saliva completely stopped, every breath you take is drying out your mouth, like your mouth would be cracked and bleeding inside. If you held your mouth open for hours and no mucus, no saliva, your mouth would be cracked and bleeding inside from the air passing through. Same with the air on the eye. And no tears, your eyes are in pain. Same with the sinuses. My sinuses are wide open. There's air nonstop passing through. And they're cracked and bleeding. It damages the organ's function. And the function is to self-lubricate and self-clean. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what's happening because that little cotton and tape was helping for a month. Now I don't know what's going on. Infection? I just finished 10 days antibiotics yesterday. And I'm climbing the walls and losing my mind. I'm so dried out and an excruciating pain. Like the agitation from the pain. I'm taking Tylenol for the pain and agitation and it doesn't help.